This podcast is part of the Podcast Your Scene Network. Visit us at www.podcastyourscene.com.
You know, the local media has an agenda that they're going to serve. I don't know who's in charge of it or what it is, if it's like a headless monster.
Why? This is a question.
Walking backwards. Something sacred.
I don't know the names of the Creep songs. Those are
Running in
CDs you just
circles.
pop in and let play.
Sea of Glass.
The flight and the fall.
I love Ozzy. I think he's the true definition of a rock star. So turn off on your speakers.
Anybody else have any interesting stories they don't want to come to tell?
God, come after the fall.
Hey, this is John Lane from the thriving metropolis of Leechburg, Pennsylvania.
The Pennsylvania Rock Show, featuring the best unsigned rock that Pennsylvania has to offer.
What's the story this week? Am I fucking your world? And I'm fucked up, I'm not sleeping.
What's up, everyone? It is the Pennsylvania Rock Show on PARockShow.com, MegaRockRadio.net, 107.1 FM KFGD, St. Louis, Missouri, XRPRadio.co.uk in the Highlands of Scotland, RootRooRadio.com on the beaches of San Diego, California, OtiesXL.com in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, BuildTheScene.com/radio here in the thriving metropolis of Leechburg, Pennsylvania, and music from the 412.com in Pittsburgh, PA. This is episode number 665 of the Pennsylvania Rock Show. Right before I came on live, you heard a brand new song to us from the band Broom called Back on the Road. Then if we followed that up with Mark Dignam, who is currently living in Pittsburgh, but originally from Dublin, Ireland. That song is called Rebuild. And then we got Sun King Rising and their song number 6, Magnolia Avenue. With me tonight as our special guest is Robin from The Big Break.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am excellent. Thanks for having us tonight.
You're welcome. So as the people that have been following the show for who knows how many shows at this point, this is season number 4 of The Big Break. It is the third time that we've covered The Big Break. We didn't know about it in the first one.
Right. Way back when.
Yes. And Robin, this is the first time I've ran into Robin in these shows. I'm assuming you're hosting. Is that the right guess?
So I don't do any of the hosting right now. I am the production manager for the Big Break contest. And like you said, we're in season 4, and I help co-produce our podcast called Beyond the Break on Thursdays each week. And then I help with stuff behind the scenes as much as I possibly can, wherever is needed. But hosting is still on the to-do list.
Well, since you brought up Beyond the Break, why don't you tell us a little bit about the podcast?
Yeah, excellent. So The Big Break, for anybody who might not be familiar, our intention as volunteers are to really boost up independent artists, support independent artists. So we have an informational podcast that we run every Thursday called Beyond the Break, and we invite industry professionals, musicians, all kinds of people of all different backgrounds who have some sort of what we would consider valuable insight to share. And for musicians who maybe are just getting their start or who might be looking for the next step, who aren't sure where to go, or even professionals who might be looking for a different point of view. Our intent really is to kind of give some information on a free basis from individuals that can be relied on based off of their experience. That kind of speaks for itself. And we also feature independent musicians on the podcast each week. So we select 2 different videos to play at the start and the end of each of our episodes. A lot of them are guests from previous seasons of the Big Break contest. And then we also have a little segment each week that it lists the shows in the area. So like original music is kind of the focus of the Big Break. So we've added a segment each week that lists shows in the Northeast Pennsylvania area. So a weekly listing of shows that everybody can find, and then we'll share that to social media afterwards, just kind of for easy location. And then every so often we do an updated open mic and open jam segment too. So if there are musicians who are either trying to network or are trying to find new avenues to get on stage or practice their craft, that's kind of another way that we try and support that.
So we're very, very similar.
It sounds like it from what I saw. Yeah, definitely. I saw your what is it? 2 questions in a song?
Yeah,
Is that
3
right?
questions in a
3
song,
questions in a song.
but it's usually more like 25 questions in a song. But
It can go so quick, can it?
it can. Which episode of that did you see?
I haven't watched a full episode, but before I came on, I wanted to at least be familiar with it, so I checked some of them out, and I can't remember what the name was who was on the last one that you did. I clicked on.
That was Mark Dignam, who
Mark,
we just
right?
Yep.
Yep. So I checked that out a little bit. That was cool.
We had a short conversation about his first time at a St. Patrick's Day celebration in the U.S. after being born in Dublin, and yeah.
Yeah. Has he? I don't know if I didn't. Like I said, I didn't see the whole thing, but did the Scranton parade come up to see what he thinks of that?
No, I don't think,
because I'd be interested.
He was living when he first came over to the U.S. He was living in between New York and Boston, and then we actually ended up talking about the Pittsburgh parade, and he said that he was playing a show, and he and his friend who he brought over from Ireland, unfortunately scheduled it on parade day, and they walked out of the venue and everyone was wearing green except for them, and they were the only ones who were actually Irish, probably. But so tell me, let's do this first. Why don't you mention some sponsors that are going with season number 4? Let's get that out of the way.
Absolutely. So we do have some sponsors this year. We are working with Encore Studios. They are helping us with a lot of our sound that we're going to be running for our live events. We've got at least 3 live events planned right now for during August and September. So they're providing the backlining, helping with the stage management. They're running all the audio for it. Plus, we have different takeover events that we're actually starting this season. So we're going to have a handful of shows over the summer that they're going to be helping us with as well. So offering their sponsorship through their services has been phenomenal to work with them. We have Mad Twisted Hatters Infused Emporium. So they are actually helping us with a product named after our winners for this season. We have Lindarella's Deli. They are a local catering and restaurant business, and they've been helping us for the last 2 seasons. They've been imperative with us as well. Let's see, I know we've got Route 6 Records. They are helping us as well too with the prize packages. Yeah, we've got some serious awesome sponsors this year, and the list is growing. And we've got different sponsorship levels too, starting at as little as $50. We want to try and make it accessible to be part of what we're trying to do, whether people want to volunteer or whether they want to lend a sponsorship. But to really try and support the musicians as best we can, we are keeping the sponsorship open and kind of building packages for each different sponsor.
How can someone become a sponsor?
So to become a sponsor, you can reach out to us directly at info@thebigbreak.org. We also have a page on our website. If you go to thebigbreak.org, there is a sponsor us page, and that actually lists some of the sponsorship materials. So what you can expect to get, what some of our basic packages will include, and what other options are available.
Cool. So I know that the runner-up in season, I want to say it was season 2, is Primate, who is from this area. I do not have them on the playlist for tonight, but
okay,
we did play them on the last episode that we did.
Right.
And that was actually how I kind of found out about the Big Break, was because
nice.
I knew of them. And I don't want to ask the question about the bands yet, but I want you to know it's coming. I'm going to ask you who's involved, and I know there's a lot because you haven't started yet, so it hasn't been pared down. There's you're still at the beginning of the bracket, if that's the word I want to use.
Yes, we are.
So how did you get involved with the Big Break?
How did I get involved with the Big Break? So my old company that I worked with was supposed to be one of the sponsors for season 2, I believe it was. Gosh, time flies when you're having a pandemic. So I want to say season 2 is when my company was supposed to sponsor. And so that's how I got connected with AL. I was going to be at one of our merch tables. And so I was going to be going to the events anyway. And in my history, I am an avid fan of music, any which way you spin it, whether I'm listening to it, whether I am performing. I'm a singer by nature. And so for me to get into the music scene around here has been something that I put off for way too long. And it seemed like a really good opportunity to do it in a really cool way. So I went to a couple of the finale shows during season 2, thought the bands were awesome, fell in love with listening to them. And AL, the one day after a couple of months, he was getting ready for season 3. He was shooting his reveal video, and he messaged me and he goes, "Are you crafty?" And who knows what he was up to at that point. So I said, "I'd like to think so, but the results will have to speak for themselves." But he needed a hand with making a prop for one of his videos, and never seemed to stop needing a hand, of course, because everything is a whole lot to do. So luckily I was able to kind of just start learning from there. And I went into our productions from last season and learned how to do lighting and video equipment sort of, and work as a production assistant. So it's kind of been a growing process from there.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do now, we're going to take a short break. I'm going to play some more music. We're going to have Dark Harvest's B Flat Blues is the name of that track.
Sounds funky.
And we're going to play the Low Life Drifters. It's going to end up being me. Both of those bands had stand-up basses, so you're not far off when you say that.
Oh, I like that. That's cool.
One is kind of they call themselves metal, but there's a stand-up bass.
Right.
And the other one I would probably describe as rockabilly, but we'll put them back to back because of those stand-up basses. So we're going to listen to those. And those of you that are on the video end, you're going to get to watch 3 commercials. And we will be right back.
The Pennsylvania Rock Show live Mondays on Music from the 412. Join host Bill Damiano for music and exclusive interviews with the best unsigned bands Pennsylvania has to offer. Featuring the best variety of rock and metal with new shows every week. Plus, you can catch replays every Saturday morning and stream us on the radio. Want to get your band featured in an upcoming episode? Visit Build the Scene online for submissions and additional information. Want to listen to all your favorite artists on Music from the 412? Check out our new radio station. Listen to Music from the 412 radio online or stream to your favorite smart device. Our station offers variety like no other, playing tracks from original, local, and national artists. Plus, you can submit your own original music for a chance to be featured on our 24/7 station. All music, all the time. Tune in to Music from the 412 Radio today.
Okay, so you just heard that Dark Harvest song B-Flat Blues and the Low Life Drifters, It's Gonna Be Me. I know the story behind that second song, and every time I play it, I try not to laugh.
Rockabilly is something I didn't know I would get down with, but it's really a jam.
You're gonna have to check that song out, but it's about being in a room full of people, and basically, I don't know how to word this. The lead singer ends up going home with someone because he was the only option. That's how.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Sounds like a story.
Yes. because apparently the other two were already married or involved.
Oh no. Oh, hey, all right. So we are here on Build the Scene Radio, and I'm Robin. I'm your guest this week. Not quite sure what happened, but our host should be right back. In the meantime, I will wait patiently.
I accidentally wiped myself off the screen. That's what happens when it's live.
Yeah, you get what you get.
Thankfully, I didn't hit end. So I mentioned right before we went to watch the videos and listen to the music that I was going to ask you about who's involved. And AL just popped up that he would like to be involved in that. So we'll bring him up on the screen too.
Excellent.
Except he's currently muted.
Oh,
there
no.
he is.
Yeah, just my screen, the other one. And you can take me off if you don't mind.
What do you mean? Oh, that one. Yes.
Yeah.
There it is. If you put that in full screen mode, it'll get rid of the bar across the top.
There it is. My current favorite page of the website.
I was just on it before I joined you guys.
Yay!
So.
And I'm glad you mentioned Primate. They're actually on Merch Booth, who is one of our sponsors. They were with us during season 2. They were one of our finalists. And if anybody out there is familiar with them, because I know they are from Pittsburgh area, if you like them and you want to support them, head to merchbooth.com and type in Prime and the number 8, and you'll see their store with all of their merchandise. Merch Booth has been supporting us this year too, and making it possible for us to put together the stuff that we are doing for these bands. So they are helping us in Axelrad screen printing. They are kind of behind Merch Booth, and they're a local screen printing company who have helped us out. So yeah, season 4's contestants, we have a whole page on our website now. If you go to thebigbreak.org/contest, there's a little link you'll see to look at all of the artists. They're listed with in alphabetical order. You can click on any of their social media pages that they might have. A lot of them have music on YouTube and Spotify, and you can follow them if you'd like. That really helps the artists a like and a follow a little bit more than you'd think. And it's a great way for any of our new viewers to learn about the artists, get the artists more familiar with each other, introduce people to new bands, get them some new fans, hopefully. Just a resource for everybody to use this season.
And what did you say that address was again?
So that is thebigbreak.org/contest. And we've got, I believe we're up to 40 bands now. We had more sign up, but given our qualifications for this season, we had some that had to change their minds. And I'll tell you what, the fact that we have 40 with us now running in flip-flops that are on the screen, they were one of our finalists last year. And luckily for us, they are deciding to come back and play another season, but they're local here out of Oliphant, Pennsylvania. They've got kind of a psychedelic rock style to them, a little bit jammy, a little bit fun. They don't take themselves too seriously, but they definitely take their sound and their craft seriously, which I respect. So they're a fun one. And 8088, I know they put out some good music too. We tried to reach out to as many bands as we could before the contest signups ended on March 31st. So we were grateful to hear back from quite a few of them and see that they were interested. It's awesome to see that from the bands who are involved, and they're out there supporting each other already. There are comments on social media back and forth with them. They're saying hi, saying they appreciate each other's music. So there are some really great bands out there to look out for. Definitely visit that page, check out their music, and see who you want to vote for. Everybody gets to vote this season at least once a day. So check out the artists, get familiar with them. They're going to be playing takeover events this season too. So if you see something you might want to see live, keep an eye out for our Facebook page. We're going to be posting different events where our competitors are invited to take the stage before any of our live rounds, get some fans familiar with their sound, and network a little bit. So take a look out for the takeover events so you guys can hear those bands.
There are 40 of them. That's a lot. I scrolled through it. I didn't attempt to count them. I was like, wow, that's a lot.
It is.
And you expanded. Was the expansion to New York and New Jersey this season?
Yes,
yeah,
that's right. This is the first season. So season 2 and 3 were local to Pennsylvania when it got reunited. And so, yeah, this year we're doing New York State and New Jersey State. And we do have a couple bands from each.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you? Thanks, Al. Why don't you mention the prizes?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have some incredible prizes this year. And like I said, first we have Route 6 Records. They offered a record deal. We have Mad Twisted Hatters Infused Emporium. That's a local Delta 8, Delta 10 company. They make edibles, they make infused topical creams, they make all kinds of stuff. So the bands that win are going to have a product actually named after them and kind of branded in their image from this company, which I think is really exciting. We have a distribution deal. So not only does the recording deal kind of get somebody kicked off, but now they can use their recorded material and get it distributed. We have a music video that's going to be professionally produced. Encore Studios, again, they are going to be our sponsors this season again, and they are offering a 1-song recorded and produced at their award-winning studios. Then we've got all kinds of stuff going on during the live rounds. So any of the bands who get to the live rounds, whether they are first place, second place, third place, they're going to get a Pro Live multi-camera recording of the full 45 and 30-minute sets, and they're going to get full audio of that. It's all going to have a photo shoot that is professionally done and edited. Last thing too, even for our challenge completion artists in round 1, they're going to get an invitation to perform 3 songs for our stripped series called In the Break Room. We can talk a lot about that a little bit more, but it's kind of a if you've ever seen NPR Tiny Desk, kind of similar to that. So everybody's got something to get this year. And then we've got 1-year VIP subscription and merch booth. Again, I just mentioned them with Primate. So you can get some custom graphics. You can have multiple images, different kinds of merchandise for your fans. So there's a little bit for everyone.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Let's do one more question and then we'll take another break.
Heck yeah.
How, and I know season 4 is just starting, but if there are bands out there watching this now and going, I really wish I would have known about this, how can they get in on season 5?
Season 5. So right now, season 5 is slated to begin on January 1st of 2024. If you want to sign up, we are going to have the signups at our contest link. So it will be at thebigbreak.org/contest. At the bottom of every page, we do have a contact form. And if you fill that out, it's going to allow you to enter your email address. We will send you an email when the signups open, and you can specifically select to receive emails only about the contest and not about the podcast or about the break room series. We don't like to spam anybody. And I think with that, we might have sent a handful of emails just that the sign up opened and signups are closing. So it's not going to be a bombarding of emails, but it's definitely going to keep everybody on track if that's in their sites.
Very cool. All right, so what we're going to do now, we're going to take another break. On the radio side, you're going to hear the Dragonfly Effect and their song Someday. And on the video side, you're going to get to see me talk about upcoming concerts and ticket contests that we have going on with Drusky Entertainment. So we're going to do that, and we'll be back in about 4.5 minutes. I do have to re-cue that video because I lost it when I slid myself off the screen. There it is.
Slipping and sliding.
So here we go. Hey everyone, it is Bill from FirstAngelMedia.com, BuildTheScene.com, and music from the 412.com, and this is your concert calendar for weeks 1 and 2 of April 2023. Let's get started with things on Tuesday, April 4th at 7 p.m. Ricky Rockman will be at the Oaks Theater in Oakwant. On Wednesday, April 5th, 7 p.m., Destroyer of Light, Temptress, Whorehound, all at the Black Forge Coffee House in Ricky's Rocks. On Friday, April 7th, from 12:30 to 3:30 p.m., the Mazeroskis will be live at the Southern Tier Brewing Company right next to the stadium for the Pittsburgh Pirates home opener. On Saturday, April 8th, 2023, at 7 p.m., the Clarks and Gina Werewolf at the Craft House Stage and Grill in Pittsburgh. On Friday, April 14th, at 6 p.m., DRI with Paralysis, The Porters, and Faith by Order at Preserving Concerts in New Kensington. At 7:30 p.m., Heroes Bar and Grill in Catania, Pennsylvania, their Friday night open mic series with Jeffrey Towers. Saturday, April 15th at 8 p.m., A Common Crown with Blood Union and Unbroken Soul, Voodoo Brewing Company in Homestead. On Sunday, April 16th, from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., the PA Band Initiative Jam Sunday at Steamworks Creative in Gibsonia. We have some upcoming ticket giveaway contests that you can enter, courtesy of Drusky Entertainment and Music from the 412 by going to musicfromthe412.com/contests. Those shows are April 14th, 6 p.m., DRI with Paralysis, The Porters, Faith by Order at Preserving Concerts. April 24th, 6 p.m., Wigwam with Dying Breed, The Cheats at Jurgles Rhythm Grill. On April 28th, at 6 p.m., it's the Bacon Brothers with Mark Ferrari, also at Jurgles Rhythm Grill. On May 7th, 2023, at 7 p.m., Lita Ford with A Common Crown and Modern Fossils at Jurgles Rhythm Grill. Don't forget to go to musicfromthe412.com/submissions to send us your videos, music, and concert dates. My name is Bill, and this has been your concert calendar for April, weeks 1 and 2, 2023, and I will see you next time on the Pennsylvania Rock Show. What's up, everyone? It is Bill. I'm going to show you how to enter our ticket giveaway contest that we have in conjunction with Drusky Entertainment. The first thing you need to do is go to musicfromthe412.com, and once there, you're going to click on contest in the main navigation. You will scroll down and it will show you the upcoming shows that we have on our agenda. I'm going to go ahead and click on the Saliva show just to show you how to do it. And scroll down here and there's a share event box. So I'm going to click the Facebook box. And then I am going to tag Music from the 412. And also Drusky Entertainment. And go ahead and press post to Facebook. And it will take a little bit of time, but it will make a post to your Facebook page. While you're waiting, you're going to come over here. You're going to find the submission form. You're going to fill in your first name, your last name, and your email address. Your email will only be used to send you the tickets should you win. You're going to verify that you've shared the event and that you tagged both Music from the 412 and Drusky Entertainment and hit submit. And it is easy as that. And then the last thing you have to do is watch the Pennsylvania Rock Show live Monday nights at 9 p.m. on musicfromthe412.com. All right. So, those of you on the radio, that was the Dragonfly Effect. Someday was the track. And those of you that were there, you didn't get to hear about the contest. Go to musicfromthe412.com/contests. There are a whole bunch of shows. I mentioned them in the video, but I mention them again real fast. We have DRI at Preserving Concerts in New Kensington. We have Wigwam at Jurgles. The Bacon Brothers at Jurgles, Lita Ford at Jurgles, and one I didn't mention, which is all the way in September, it's the red jumpsuit apparatus. That one is, I believe, at I'm not sure. That one might be at Craft House. I can't see it on my screen, but it's real easy. Just go to musicfrom412.com/contest, click on the show, and share, and send us your email. We did not have anyone sign up for this week's ticket giveaway, so that will not be happening tonight. That one was not a concert. It was really cool though. It was Ricky Rockman from that metal show on MTV, and he's telling stories, and nobody signed up. I don't get it, Robin. Oh wait, you're still muted.
There we go. I was going to say the MTV days. I remember my MTV days. Not when I was on MTV, but when I watched MTV.
Yeah, that's really what Music from 412 is, except it's local bands, mostly local bands from the Pittsburgh area and suburbs, but there are bands from all over the place that have been getting played.
That's awesome.
And it has its own radio station too. So
heck yeah.
So that's kind of, it's not mine, but I do a lot of behind the scenes stuff with it.
Right.
So like the videos that you just watched with me are airing on there. This is airing on there. And I do the website, but
awesome.
Okay. So what I want to know now is we kind of alluded to the fact that this is a contest. It's in the name.
Right.
What are the steps? How's it go down?
Yes. So for the contest, there are different rounds. So the first round, how it works is each contestant has 3 months to create a homemade music video. They're not able to use any sort of paid help, and it's got to be for one of their original songs. So specifically, the videos have to be inclusive of 3 items that we announced just recently. We have the 3 items for season 4 are an envelope, a banana, and a pineapple. And if you haven't had a chance to see that video, we actually chose those items in a pretty particular fashion to try and make it fair. We blew up some balloons. Each of them had a different item in it written on a piece of paper. And to see how we popped the balloons, that's on our YouTube channel. The Big Break USA, I believe. And we, once we announce those 3 items on April 1st, the bands have until June 30th to create and submit their music videos. Our podcast this year is going to go kind of alongside that. So we're going to have production, videographer guests, I should say, on our podcast to kind of help our contestants. So once they finish making their music videos and everything is submitted and approved after June 30th, they have the entire month of July to get the fans, their audience, the public to vote for whichever music videos or whichever artists they want to see compete in the live rounds. Once July 31st is over, we then announce at one of our live shows who is going to be moving forward. Then we have, youtube.com/ I always mess that one up, at the /big-break for whoever's on the radio. So that's where you can find us on YouTube. Check out the season 4 item reveal video, please. And once we get to the live rounds, we'll announce who's going to be playing, and then we have a semi-finale show where we have 3 finalists. They're going to battle on stage. With battle as a fun term, but everybody gets to play a 30-minute original set. They're going to be judged by a panel of industry professionals from each state to try and keep things fair. And And then once the judges and the public has made their decision, because the public gets to vote during those rounds too, that's going to decide who goes to I'm sorry, that show has 9 contestants. I misspoke. So out of those 9 contestants who play that day, the judges select the top 3. Once we have the top 3, we then go to the finale, and they will do it again in front of judges, and they'll decide who's going to be the champion for the season. We have a decibel meter up on stage, so whatever crowd members are there making the most noise for the bands, even that counts. So every little support for these bands is kind of how it's decided who wins.
I don't know why I remember this, but season 2 was a red balloon, a fork, and a set of keys.
Yes.
I don't know why I
Give this man a championship. Excellent memory. That's right.
Except I got banana and a pineapple, and I don't remember what the third one was.
An
I remember
envelope.
season 2.
Yeah, an envelope. You'll know it once the bands submit their videos and everything. I'm sure it'll be all over.
Will those be on the YouTube page as they're released?
Yeah, so we are going to have those music videos released on our YouTube page. Once that's submitted, the bands are free to share them on their page from our YouTube and get the public to vote that way. Hopefully, I don't know if we're going to do this, but we might have some sort of reference to that on the artist page on the website once we get to that point. Try and make it easy to find.
So I need to go back to thebigbreak.org here for a moment. So there is, I noticed, rules and regulations. And I there's a lot, so I don't expect you to mention all of them. I'm looking at them.
Right.
Are there any specific that you need bands to know, like this is going to end it?
One thing is we cannot have any sort of copyright issues, first and foremost. So we don't want artists to have any issue with another artist owning a copyright to a backtrack or some sort of lyrics or anything with the music that they're presenting to this contest as an original. So what we're doing is we're having all of our artists produce their music live on stage. And by that, we mean there have to be live instrumentals, or say if it's it's a solo artist, maybe they've got a loop pedal and they've got a kick drum that they can use by foot with a little tambourine on it, where you can still sound like a whole band and still present your own original music. Some bands are going to have other musicians that are friends, or other bands kind of fill in around them if they need it. They've organized that for the live shows. We even actually saw that at the takeover already for Alex Stanilla. He has somebody who helps him with the drums when he needs drums live. So kind of pushing a little bit of the creativity there while also protecting the originality of the craft and protecting artists whose copyrights mean a lot to them. Another thing that we take pretty seriously is treating each other well and building a community. So while everybody does have the right to free speech, we will not be having any sort of material that is hateful. Example, racism. If you're trying to advocate for racism, I think you might be doing it in the wrong place. And unfortunately, your video is not going to get played on this platform. That's not what we're here for. So any sort of destructive works of that nature probably aren't gonna make it very far either.
Very cool. So once again, it is thebigbreak.org, and take a look at those 40 bands that are currently still in it. It's
so exciting.
thebigbreak.org/contest. Robin, I want to thank you for hanging out with me tonight on episode 665.
I appreciate you having us. Thank you so much for the third time too. It was nice to meet you.
You as well. So what we're going to do here on the podcast radio side, you're going to hear a couple more tracks. You're going to hear Christina Marie and her song, I Want That Boom Boom. You are going to hear All My Monsters. We're going to go all the way back to 2006 for this one.
Oh.
It is called Two Hearts, One Travesty. And then we're going to end things with a song. It's called The B-Side of Me. It's by Danny Gotchner, who is in the House Rockers with Of course, I'm going to completely forget his name now. That's terrible. Like Pittsburgh royalty, and I can't come up with his name. He writes with the boss.
I wish I could help you. That's not my wheelhouse.
Yeah. Wow. Blank in the House Rockers. I can't believe I can't pull it out of my head. It's terrible. And when I say the boss, I mean Bruce Springsteen. Like they played with Bruce. He's written with Bruce. And he used to be a gym teacher in McKees Rocks. I can remember that. Can't remember his name. But
He's got a name now.
But anyway, Danny is in the House Rockers. And that track is the B-side of me. And for those of you hanging out for the next 20 minutes or so on the video end of things, you're going to see Rat Rod, All or Nothing, Bill Toms, and Hard Rain, Everybody's Talking, The Filthy Lowdown, Sex Owl, Spider, and his song Cigarette Ashes, Skies of Terra, Worlds Collide, Five of Cups, that track is Static. And I'm guessing that's probably where I'm going to run out of time, but just in case I fit another one in, that's going to be Stone Cold Killer, Programmed for Love and Destruction. This has been episode number 665. Check us out at buildacene.com/show/pars, P-A-R-S, or go to musicfromthe412.com/pars. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and play us out of here with my outro video, and then we're going to start watching the videos that I mentioned. And once again, thank you, Robin, and Al, who can't talk to us because he's in the green room, but thanks for hanging out with me.
Thank you.
This episode of the Pennsylvania Rock Show has ended, but be sure to subscribe to be introduced to more of the best on-sign rock and metal that Pennsylvania has to offer. Don't forget to rate, review the show, and we'll see you on the next episode.